Well, hello there, great person. Welcome back to this episode of Marty Will Probably Get Scared, because I'm still shaken from the last two videos and episodes that you've seen 2 days ago and perhaps 4 days ago. Who knows? But anyway, I'm still shaken, and I've decided to do something funny today. So we're gonna watch Ouija board videos, which I think is more funny than what we had not yesterday, 2 days ago with the Japanese ghost thingy. So we will find out if Marty, still in my right mind, I hope. Yeah, let's see if I get scared today. Probably not, because it's Ouija boards and I don't care about them, but I need some time off, because the last two were just, I just recorded them, and I don't know what it's 1:52 p.m. right now here in Germany, and I need to sleep. So I want to go to sleep, and I want to be able to sleep, so that's why I took up this video where we probably have not that many scary things, but I can rage a bit. If you like that, yeah. And I will, of course, I will try not to act as I always, I try never to act, because that's stupid. That's stupid. I will just give you my honest opinion and reaction, as always, you know that. So yeah, let's get into this video. By Shivers. So Shivers, he's talking a lot. So yeah, let's just get into this. And let's enjoy it. Ouija boards. Let's see how many times they poke.
Chills. Number 10.
Oh no, it's not Shivers, it's Chills. Okay, so Chills. Chills is great. So let's do it this way this time. Not how many times am I get scared. Let's see in how many of these 10 videos they're gonna poke it, and in how many videos it's gonna do nothing, and in how many videos it's gonna help using this Ouija board. Let's just see.
10. High-tech ghost. If you can summon spirits using a homemade Ouija board, then it stands to reason that a digital version would work just as well. This is what happened to an 18-year-old girl from Lima, Peru.
Yeah, of course it works. Let me just do that here. No, we will do that another time. I will do that when I test the apps. I will remember this, and I will use that app in the app tests to detect detect Ouija boards. So, detect Ouija boards, detect ghost thingies. So, yeah, but already a stupid idea, what would that do? It's just an image. So let's see what they poke.
Peru, when she used a Ouija board app on her smartphone after using the app with her friends to ask just a few questions. Patricia Quispe somehow managed to summon a spirit that apparently followed her home. Soon after playing with the board, her parents noticed that she started to throw violent tantrums and foam at the mouth.
Ooh, she might have epilepsy. Do you call that in English as well? Epilepsy, where you was getting spasms and an aura, and is it called that? I don't know. You know, where you just start shaking, and that might have been caused by the app having too high frequency. Then you got foam, and yeah, it might be an epileptic seizure. Looks like, if that's her, that looks like an epileptic seizure. I mean, I haven't really seen one, but from what I've heard described, this might be an epileptic seizure. So stupid coincidence. So Ouija board did nothing.
Ella presentó una aparente posesión satánica luego de jugar a la Ouija.
Yeah.
Her voice changed too. It became strained and evil.
No, it got, because everything is tense. Everything is tense, and she's having spasms, and everything hurts, because it's like, I can just tell you what I heard about this. So it's like if you have a muscle cramps, and they are always there. I mean, if you have a muscle cramp, you immediately try to get it away. But if you have an epileptic seizure like this, you feel that everywhere in your body, and it hurts like hell if you're unlucky. And of course your throat tenses up, so you get so the what is it called? The tension of your vocal cords gets higher, and that's why it gets deeper and more coarse. That's the physicist explanation for this.
As she thrashed about in her restraints, the poor girl often shouted the same phrases over and over again. She would repeat the number 6 3 times in a row, and she would also tell doctors to give her back her phone, presumably so that she could get back on the Ouija app and cause further damage. She was taken to a psychiatric ward to be further examined. Whether she regained her senses or remains internally possessed is the mystery.
Bullshit. So that was just a video of someone having an epileptic seizure, and they spun the stupid story, which you should not do because that was real. It was a real epileptic seizure. You don't make fun of that. And if you do that, I really, yeah. I mean, I've said this enough. If you make fun, okay, it's not fun, but if you make money of other people's misery like this and you tell stupid tales about that, no, don't do that. Sorry. So it did nothing.
Summoning. 4 girls are about to witness the power of the Ouija board firsthand. The video begins just as they are receiving an answer to their final question, and they are now ready to end the session. They start to move the cup in a circle 3 times to clear the board, but whatever they have summoned is not exactly ready to leave quite yet.
Okay, that looks weird. What are you doing?
Are you okay?
Just before the girls can cast the spirit back into its own dimension.
So didn't help. Why did you use it? I mean, if it's gonna work, it's gonna do stupid stuff. So why did you use it, stupid idiot?
It desperately leaps inside one of them and takes control. Then the
And she's acting.
possession ends as quickly as it began. They all rush in, and one of the girls cradles her friends in her arms as she cries and trembles. They ask if she needs any water. Even though I'm not sure exactly what happened, I think it's safe to say that a glass of water probably isn't going to be enough to help her. Number 8. Stuffed stare. As this footage from Mexico shows, humans are far from the only things that can potentially become possessed by summoned spirits. In this video, 3 friends are just hanging out together in a cramped room, trying to use a Ouija board to summon whatever spirits they can find. Suddenly, it looks like they attract some supernatural attention. You can't hear any sound, but you can tell things are starting to get interesting by the way they all lean forward and wait for the next answer. The room appears to grow very hot for a moment, and the man in the center rubs some sweat from his brow. As he does this, a white stuffed bear above him springs to life. It appears to look down at the 3 of them, and it especially seems to regard the person on the left the most. The man on the left eventually looks up, and the 2 lock eyes. He immediately starts to point out the possessed bear to his friends, but when his friends look up to see what he's talking about, the bear stops moving. It looks like they get in a small argument for a moment as the man tries to convince his friends that he isn't making up a story and that he really did see the bear move. One of them picks up the bear and examines it. It doesn't do anything, so they all sit down with the Ouija board and start over again. When they start to ask another question with the Ouija board, the stuffed toy begins to look around some more. This time it makes no attempt to hide itself as they all turn around and watch in horror. They all jump up from their seats and run out of the room, so terrified that none of them even think to take the camera with them. If you're enjoying the video so far, please
Yeah, if you enjoy this, which I do, it's funny because it's stupid. So that was like a marionette. You could see that by the movement. It was like it was on strings from above, so they probably had a contraption somewhere above. Yeah. Okay. So it was fake. And even if it wasn't fake, I mean, could have been legit, this one. So anyway, you used it, you did something bad. You poked it, it wasn't better afterwards. Why would you use it then, idiot?
give it a like as it really helps me out. Number 7, homemade possessions. You don't need to buy an official Ouija board if you want to contact the dead. G-Money Gaming and his friend decided to do it themselves using a Ouija board that they made with a piece of paper and a plastic pointer. Little did they know how effective their design would turn out to be. G-Money begins asking if there are any spirits in the room with them, and he immediately gets a positive response. When he asks how many spirits there are, the answer is 2. By this point, G-Money and his friend are sufficiently scared. but they decide to keep going anyway. G-Money bravely asks the spirits what their names are, and he gets a dreadful response: Zozo and Mama. These two spirits are famous for haunting Ouija board users throughout the world, and they are even rumored to possibly be demons with strong ties to Satan.
Why use it, you idiots? I mean, this is so stupid. Ouija boards are so stupid and not scary. They're not only scary if there's an unreal ghost peeker coming from them, or like a weird dude or something like that.
Zozo. Oh my god, dude.
What was that?
What the heck was that? We need to end the session right now.
The Ouija board starts to spell Zozo over and over again in rapid succession, and then something is knocked over from deeper within the house. The two friends know that they have to end the session fast before anything bad can happen, so G-Money quickly moves the pointer over to goodbye. Just when this happens, the pointer slides away as if something had grabbed it. As they back out of the room, the entire board flies at them, and they launch into a full sprint. Number 6, Lisa. A man and a woman managed to successfully summon a female spirit while a third person films. Lisa, the spirit spells Lisa.
Hello, Lisa.
Push that?
I did not push that.
Seriously, none of you guys push that over to the X like that.
No.
Not at all.
Mm-mm.
You guys doing something underneath the table?
No.
No.
That looked like it moved
They are
all
clearly
on its own.
acting.
After this, the pointer dashes.
Yeah, by the way, I'm doing again because we all know what I think about this, about Ouija boards, I hope. Because I've said it often enough that I think might do something, but if it does something, it's bad, so why do it? It's stupid. So you know that now, at least. So I will do the commentary live, so to speak, and discuss it. And if I think most of these are fake anyway because they're easily fakeable, so yeah, I will just do it by the by. And I think this is fake because he's acting. He's obviously acting. It was so acted. And then she goes with the camera, oh, look, it's no way. I'm telling the truth.
To the letter X on its own. Neither one of them appear to have pushed the pointer to the letter X. It seems to have moved there completely on its own. The cameraman checks under the table for magnets, but he doesn't find any, and there doesn't look to be any strings. There's a quick cut in the video, so unfortunately we can't exactly hear the next question that they asked. Either way, the pointer circles a bit and lands on yes, and then it darts on its own back to the mysterious letter X for a second time. If this video is to be believed, then why did the spirit repeatedly choose the letter X?
And why did they cut the video? So again, this is such a stupid thing. It's like the one medium woman that had the ghost, which was her brother in her house. So they showed it below the table that there was nothing. Then they cut it, which he says, which is honest of him. I like that he tells us. And he's always honest, I think. He's been honest many times. So yeah, and then it's like a magnet. This was a magnet. I mean, I've seen magnets many times. How they work. Magnets, how do they work? It's quite complicated actually, but whatever. So yeah, I've seen magnets many times, and this is how a magnet would have behaved.
Perhaps it could have meant that it was an ex-lover, or on the other hand,
yeah, so
the
now
letter
show,
X could
oh,
even
it was a cut
represent her
again.
death.
Yeah.
Exactly what Lisa wanted will never be known.
Yeah,
They understandably
see, there was
backed away
another
from
cut.
the board
So
after
stupid.
the second time that the pointer moved on its own.
Yeah,
However,
sure,
it doesn't
mate.
look like they
Sure, mate.
properly ended the
Sure, mate.
ceremony, so perhaps Lisa will be back for a second visit after all. Number 5, did you die in the house? Number 5, contact. Peru continues to experience a high concentration of Ouija board possessions, this time in the city of Jaén. Blanca Giovanna is only 16 years old when she and her other friends began to use the board for fun. Like so many others, she is not aware of the board's true danger, and she is swallowed by evil for her ignorance. It's unclear how many times Blanca and her friends used the board to summon demons before she was finally overtaken by one. Maybe she became possessed after using the board just once. Or perhaps it took days of repeated attempts before a demon found its way from the board into her soul.
So why do it?
Fernando, ven a mí. Fernando. Llegaste a mí, Fernando.
¿Quién es Fernanda?
Mi esposa.
Exactly how the demon got her is unknown, but in other Ouija board possession cases, it's usually either from taunting the spirit.
So it's either the family faking it to get money, which is, in this case, I think it's okay, they're using, but she's old enough, I think, to decide. So if they do that for money, that's okay, because they seem to be poor, and I hope them the best. So I hope this works. I hope they get money from this. It's creative. So yeah, and otherwise she's sick and you should go to a doctor with her, not chain her to the wall. So, and we just hear the story again, we don't see the board, so yeah. And again, nothing good happened.
Spirit, or failing to
So why
banish
use
them
it?
back to their realm at the end of the ceremony. What we do know is that this began a minor possession which soon grew out of control. Blanca went from being a carefree teenager to a violent maniac in just a matter of days. Her behavior became so aggressive that her family eventually could no longer deal with her. They had her committed for a lack of a better idea. While in her possessed form, Blanca continued to amaze and scare psychiatric workers to no end. Her evil antics even began to draw a crowd of curious locals and news reporters who all agree that she had seen the face of Satan. When she wasn't trying to attack them outright, she was shouting mysterious satanic phrases and wailing terribly.
Yeah.
Fernando, ven a mí. Fernando. Llegaste a mí, Fernando.
Like her family, the psychiatric ward eventually ran out of ideas and settled on chaining her to the wall to protect her from others. The demon stayed inside her body for at least 21 days. This was in 2011, and while locals may not know what has happened, no follow-up reports have ever left the city. This lack of information has led many to speculate that perhaps Blanca had to either been exiled or even killed so that the rest of the town could be saved. Number 4, Josh says,
Oh gee, I hope it's nothing like, I just hope they didn't do anything to her and they thought superstitiously that she really had a demon and she might have been mentally ill. If she was mentally ill, she should have gone to a real hospital, not to this asshole there. And if they were playing this, I hope she got some money out of this. Because that's hard. I mean, whatever it was, if it was a mental disorder or a possession or whatever, it is hard on your body, and I hope she's alright.
This footage comes from a YouTuber named No Biggie TV, who decided to tempt fate and make a video testing out Ouija boards. He is extremely skeptical at first, and he points out that Ouija boards can't be that scary if they are allowed to sell at Toys R Us. While he is waiting,
they are not allowed to sell at Toys R Us. They were designed by Toys R Us. Get your facts together.
in line to buy
I think I'm not that sure. But as far as I know, they were designed by Toys R Us.
it, however, a woman asks if he knows where the idea from Ouija boards came from. She says that the man who invented it sold his soul to the devil, and that making it readily available to kids was part of an evil conspiracy. No Biggie TV ignores her warning and buys the board anyway. He picks up a friend named Dave and heads to Dave's apartment. After briefly reading some instructions,
That is quite an interesting thought. Down the line in the Hebrew reports, I will try to make a Ouija board scary. And really, 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 really scary. And I will tell you where it comes from. I've got some ideas floating in my head right now. So yeah, at least the video did that.
they are quickly communicating with the dead in no time. They contact a spirit who says his name is Josh. He was born in 1921. Things are getting a little too scary. So No Biggie TV pulls a prank on his friend by pretending to be possessed, and then the two get back to being serious. As the ceremony progresses, they start to hear breathing and other strange thumping noises.
Besides the kitchen and the dog.
If I would have to fake it, that's the way I would do it. You know, first make it so that it seems as if you're a skeptic and that you're just fooling around. So everyone thinks, okay, these are honest guys and they are skeptic and they don't take it seriously, and then something happens that makes it more scary. And it does. It makes it more scary. But yeah. Let's see what's gonna come.
No, I hear some kind of breathing. That is so fucking spooky. What the fuck?
Josh tells him that the house is not safe after using the Ouija board, but there is one thing that they can do to possibly change that. Burn me, Josh writes to the
He smiled. He had a micro expression there. He smiled. So I think he's lying.
them.
By the
Obviously,
way.
no one wants to have a haunted house, so the two friends waste little time doing exactly what Josh asks. They take the board around back and set the entire thing on fire, box and all. As the box burns, Dave's car starts to turn on randomly on its own. Even after they put the fire out, they could still hear the board sizzle. It gave No Biggie TV an electrical shock when he touched it. Unfortunately, they couldn't burn the board properly, so they decided to drive as far as possible and throw it away instead. Although they did say goodbye to the board, nowhere
How could they not burn a stupid board? What's going on?
in the video does it show them properly ending the session. Just how angry Josh will be that they didn't follow his exact orders remains to be seen. Number
Yeah.
3, the pizza possession. Jackson Combs and his friend Stacy are bored late at night when they decide to summon some spirits to help pass the time. They are joined by a third friend, Alice,
Okay.
who brings with her the top of a pizza box. Together, they use it to make a homemade Ouija board. It's well past 1 in the morning by the time the three of them agree on a place to use it. They use a small cap as a pointer and spin it in 3 circles to clear the board. Then they begin. Is anybody there? Jason asks. The pointer does not move, so he repeats himself. That's when the cup moves down into the left, stopping on yes. Jason asks what the spirit's name is, and the ghost writes back Susan. When asked if the spirit is good or bad, Susan says that she is good.
If I was a bad ghost, I would say I was good too. Fool them. Okay, so this might be the first clip where the ghost might be good and they might get some benefits from using this thingy.
Then she says that she wants someone named Danny. None of them know who Danny is, so Susan says goodbye. The 3 friends could have stopped here, but they enjoyed the experience, so they decided to keep it up and try to contact other spirits. Again, they make 3 circles with the cup to clear the board.
So it did nothing. It did nothing for them. Why?
Another spirit soon makes itself known, but this time it isn't as nice as Susan.
Of course
Instead of
it's not.
asking what the spirit's name is, Jason asks if it's a good spirit. It signals that no, it is not. They
Why would you tell them? I think Susan's more creepy than the evil spirit. He's probably just fooling around with them, being Richard. But Susan, mate, Susan might have been the real deal.
could have immediately discontinued contact from there, but they weren't feeling threatened enough at the time. Jason asks for
So
its name.
bogus.
John, it writes back. What
So
do you
bogus.
want? Jason asks out loud. Kill is the response that he is given. Even though no other questions are asked, the cup suddenly moves to the no answer and flips over. The 3 of them hear a noise coming from the bathroom, and Jason goes inside to investigate.
Why would you go there? Why don't you say goodbye? That's good. That's really good. I
The door
like it.
shuts behind him and the house fills with his screams. When the girls are able to get the door open, he is cowering in the corner. Whatever had been summoned had viciously attacked him. Number 2, Japanese
Yeah, but how did he look? Was he scarred? Did he fool them? That might have been. He might have fooled them. They might not have been in on it. But yeah. So, didn't do anything good as well.
TV. These 3 girls playing with a Ouija board seem to be on some sort of Japanese television show. This isn't very surprising since some of the scariest evidence of the paranormal seems to come from Japanese game shows or investigation series. The girls have apparently been threatened by the spirit to not film this encounter, but it's clearly not their decision. The board or spirit threatens to curse the girls and they are understandably shaken up. It doesn't take long for all hell to break loose after this. One of the girls claims to see a woman and the group jumps, leaving 2 of the 3 young girls on the floor. In their panic, the quarter they were using as the planchette begins to move swiftly on its own. Furniture in the room begins to fly around as if being thrown, and a strange loud clicking can be heard.
I want to see that. No, Roy. Did I see the woman? Yeah, I saw her. I think I saw her. Yeah, keep filming it.
The footage becomes more and more chaotic before the video ends, leaving the viewer with concern and a desire for more insight.
So, you were stupid again. Thank you. So don't use it.
Before we get to number 1,
Okay, yeah, subscribe to him if you like this. Was there a woman behind her?
it doesn't take long for all hell to panic. The chord on its own be heard.
Yeah, there I saw her. It was an alien face. Come on. Let's try to see where she is. Yeah, I'm gonna do it the old way. There. Whatever that is. That looks like an alien. Just an alien puppet.
Before we get to number, according to local rumors, the
Okay.
school was built on a gravesite that the mafia used to bury corpses. In May
Yeah.
of 2016, a group of school children used a Ouija board to summon the spirit of one of the dead victims, and this footage showed it absolutely worked. Shortly after using the Ouija board, at least 20 students were all affected by a mass hallucination. The children fell to the ground and went into seizures as they vomited.
Okay, that's the first one I think might be legit, but I know that these communities often do these hoaxes, like the one where he worked out the truth to everything in his room and disappeared. You know that one? Don't know if you know that one, that story. But yeah, I hope these children are okay. They might have been something in the air or in the water. Or legit, I don't know. But it didn't do them any positive fortune, so why use it? Again. Hope they are okay. Looks nasty.
Were uncontrollable and had
Doesn't mean that they used the Ouija board, by the way. It's just a clip and they tell us. So
to be loaded into trucks and driven to the hospital. Students complained about the same evil spirit attacking them. A man dressed in all black with a big bushy beard. He always wanted to hurt them, they said. It also wasn't uncommon for the children to hear voices and feel relentlessly stalked, like someone was gonna come up from behind and snatch them at any moment. One
That's
of the students
horrifying.
even claimed to have felt a large pair of hands tighten around her neck. You would
That's
think
so
that they
messed
could
up.
somehow fight back, but high school ends earlier in Peru than most other countries. As such, these were all children between the ages of 11 and 14. They were all completely helpless and unable to defend themselves. The school officials eventually sought the help of Catholic priests to perform exorcisms and to hold mass. Unfortunately, none of this seems to have helped very much. According to the latest reports, whatever was unleashed by the Ouija board continues to haunt the poor school kids to this day.
yeah. So that was. I think I will never have to tell you why you shouldn't use this carelessly again. And I think all of this was fake, as far as I remember. And yeah, it's just a stupid ghost story. It's just a hospital toy. It doesn't do anything. I mean, if there is a spirit already there, it might anger it. But other than that, it won't do anything. That's the only thing it can do. Anger a spirit if it's there. As far as we've seen, again. I mean, obviously these are scary videos, so they only show the worst, but I mean, most of these things, some things were just stories, we have to believe him, some things were acted, and some things were, I don't know, all seemed so fake. And you know, I'm very, very skeptical when it comes to these boards, because as far as I know, they have been invented by Hasbro or Toys R Us, and they are toys, and they're just children's toys. But it's a nice. You might. the idea is great. I have nothing against the idea of a Ouija board. Theoretically, it's a very scary idea. But it's always, and then it's just the culture. Like, we've seen a Japanese one and a Spanish, from Peru, cases with a Ouija board. One supposedly, and this one here as well, one supposedly conjured up the devil, one supposedly conjured up whatever the F that was in Japan. So why would they, so that doesn't even fit together. Those are not the same realms. You know, Jikoku and Hell are not the same realms as far as I know. It's completely different. Some Japanese cultures don't even have a hell. Some beliefs there in Japan, I think. It's more like spirits and stuff like that. So it's completely different. So why would it work everywhere and do different things? So if you think about that a bit, it makes no sense. Nothing of that makes sense. So yeah, that was my special on Ouija boards, which I did because I was too scared by the last video. So I wasn't scared this time, but we knew that. We knew that already, and I hope you didn't go into this thinking I would probably be scared, because I was already skeptic. I needed some break from the last two videos, excuse me, that I watched because they were so horrifying, and so I did this. This was kind of a special. I mean, I think it's episode 80, if I saw that correctly just now. So it's episode 80. Let's say this is a small special. And yeah, if you like this and the last videos, please leave a like, subscribe perhaps. And if you have scary videos that I might enjoy, send them over. I like watching everything, and normally I didn't do this today in the last video, but normally I watch it and pretend it's real, and then pretend it's real. I mean, I might think it's real, I might think it's not real. I will pretend it's real, and in the end I will give my comments if I think it's real, if it might be legit by my estimation, and how they might have done it, and from a horror perspective, what was done well and what was done badly. So yeah, that's normally what I do. This one, I knew getting into this Ouija boards, they never do positive things, so people use them. It's so stupid, and all it does is poke it or do nothing. And we've seen this again here in this video. Didn't do things. And I'm in this video again, no really clear evidence that there were Ouija boards causing stuff that couldn't have been faked with strings. The really nasty stuff was just a voiceover. We didn't know if there was a Ouija board involved, really. And if there was, it might have been just coincidence with the seizure in the beginning. And as I said, I've already talked about it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, I hope you have a happy, scary day. And if you didn't, still, I hope you have a happy, scary day. And yeah, take care of yourself. See you around. Bye.